Our Bible verse of the video goes as follows in Isaiah 55:6. Seek ye the Lord while he may be found. Call ye upon him while he is near. You guys enjoyed this video. Honestly, we gonna need God for this one. Truly and wholeheartedly. God bless.
So, My Hero Academia's final chapter. This was terrible. You know, I'm not gonna even try to pretend like this is gonna be like a really positive review, because it's not.
Wow.
100% is not. So we pretty much just pick up like years later. Like, I'm just gonna get right into it. This sucks. We go through and we follow this kid. Well, this random kid who have like plate quirks manipulation. Like, he can take the little plate design off of his head and like throw it. He can change the size of it. It's pretty much our Deku insert. He's pretty much this generation's version of Deku. And I gotta say, having a new gen within a new gen is crazy. Like, personally, I hate this. I really do. I hate when manga do this, because like Demon Slayer did the same thing in its manga, where it basically teased that it could come back with different generations in the modern day. And I don't like this. I get that they need to show the progression of time, but this just seems very greedy on behalf of the companies that make the manga, produce it, and like ship it out to the seas and overseas. And it just feels very weird, because you know what is setting up, or what it possibly could set up, and I'm just not here for it in the slightest. Like, why can't series just end and it just be that? Like, you know what I mean? I'm not saying that all series need to do this, but I'm just saying certain series just need to just cut it off. Cut it out while it can and just end it. Let it be done. Moving on back to the chapter review. Sorry for that tangent. Dude, we follow Deku and we see the world of My Hero after 8 years, by the way. I have to stress this because it's going to be important later. So we find out that Deku is the #1 hero, or at least was, for like all of what, 3 minutes tops. I'm assuming they mean he's the #1 hero, or he was in nothing but name only, because the dude has basically no acolytes, unless you count his entire experience with UA, which the public barely cares about. Like, they mention him in passing. He's like a myth almost, because even the kid who meets Deku, he talks about this later. And I'm just like, bro, dog, you basically Horikoshi, bro. And this is where I get into my real critiques of this chapter and overall of the manga, because this basically puts a damper and puts basically a negative spin on the entirety of My Hero. Because you're telling me that his friends who he fought side by side with, rode and died for damn near, basically don't even try to reach out to brother. Like, I don't care how busy you are. You're not that busy. I do not care. It makes no sense to me why people just making excuses for this chapter. And I won't hold you. I'm not gonna pretend like this chapter didn't get me in my feelings. Honestly, honest to God, I had goosebumps reading what Deku was saying to the young Midoriya insert. Like, I really did have goosebumps. I even almost shed a tear. Man was like, oh, you can become a hero. I ain't gonna lie, bro. That had me. Coming from Deku too, because he basically is like this version of All Might, if All Might was nothing but a myth pretty much.
So today's shout out goes out to King Gaming. So annoyed this movie didn't do good. Honestly, we all annoyed that this movie didn't do good.
I will not stop stressing this. Again, it has been 8 years, and his homies who he literally went to school with, rolled with, died for, especially Bakugo, can't reach out. Can't, meet and greet, have their Sundays off, sipping a little Mai Tai, sipping a little coffee, coffee dates, doing things like that, basic. Like, even his shawty, like, basically was like, oh, whatever. Like, I'm like, bro, you this busy? You this busy, shawty? Like, bro, you ghosted my boy like this? Like, you was, all right. You got it, Horikoshi. You got it. You is the greatest mangaka of all time. Like, whatever, bro. This was trash. Like, this made the entirety of the manga just kind of bad. Because in the beginning of the very first chapter, he was all like, oh, this is a story on how I became the #1 hero. And now they freaking retroactively changed it to, oh, this is how we became the greatest heroes. I'm like, bro, come on, bro. Like, Horikoshi, I don't know if he gave into fan perception. I don't know if he gave into the Deku Batman memes, but I hate it. I hate it because, like, with the whole All Might suit thing at the very end of it, bro, come on, bro. It's cheap. It's not the same. It's been 8 years. And now he's gonna get back in the saddle with some weird clunky suit that won't suit him, because we didn't even get to see what he looked like in the suit. Like, for real. Like, bro, I can't pretend like this chapter was 100% awesome, because it really, really wasn't. Like you still have like very vain and very narcissistic people, and the people trying to get into the UA, you know, the students. I mean, like the students are basically just narcissists. Like they're pretty much nothing's changed. Like the message that these heroes have been trying to instill in the next generation haven't stuck because they're still type of Bakugo type characters who are just assholes for the sake of it. And it makes no sense in the world that they fought for. Like what happened to all of that? All of that meant nothing in the grand scheme of things because it didn't matter. You still have vain and narcissistic little young jits, little young balls acting like, oh, Unk's just doing what they do. Yeah, they fought for us. Oh, shout out to Unk. But it's like, bro, they still assholes. Like what? Like, bro, I've been seeing the Deku put the fires in the bag shit, and it's so accurate, it's crazy. You might as well have had Deku work at some type of discount McDonald's because pretty much that's what he is now.